Hey guys, Captain Andy. Hey, finishing up some wiring on the new deck boat project. And I wanted to share some features about that with you all today. So let's come take a look. We've got our original plastic dash panels that were in the boat. And wow, these things are really for being, quite old, almost 15 years old here. They're pretty darn good shape. So what I did was sanded it down, put a coat of automotive grade metallic paint and clear coat, and wow, look at that. Looks like brand new. Especially these little boogers right here. Look at that. Nice lighted switch. Uh-oh, sounds like a bilge pump's on. Nice. Got our circuit breakers along with our new lighted marine rocker switches. We added a voltage gauge and then also a cell phone charger. Gotta have one of those today, right? And this video photographer's favorite button, the big red button, the horn. Yay. Nice. So, finish up this wiring and wanted to share a few things with you all about it. I don't think I've ever done a boat wiring video. And I've been doing boat wiring for, well, quite a while. Let's just say quite a few decades. So, over those years, I've learned to do a few things that help make the process go easier and just kind of flow. Because when you're doing boat wiring, you can really get into the weeds if you're not keeping yourself on track. What I mean by that is every boat's different. Every boat has different systems. This is a pretty basic boat. It only has 5 or 6 systems. Got a horn over there, and we've got several switches here. But one of the things that I like to do, it always helps out, even though things are color coded, I like to also label them. And I also like to be able to do that to check the wire leads from the dash to the actual accessory on the boat to make sure we've got what's called continuity. This boat came with a really good quality marine grade tinned copper wire. And so we were able to reuse all of the wire and all of the harness that's inside of the boat. And that saved us a lot of time. Everything checked out. All the accessories that are reattached, they came right back to life. Worked great. Got a good reading on the dash, 12.8 volts. And that's another thing. If you look down here, you see this little battery. Came out of a jet ski a few years back, and works great. You can move it all around the boat, different locations if you're checking a specific device or circuit. And some people like to use a jump box. Yeah, whatever your pleasure. Just make sure you got a good solid 12 plus volts so you can check your accessories out and see what needs to be replaced and maybe what wiring needs to be reattached or replaced as well. So we're looking back in the compartment here. The only thing we gave us a little bit of trouble, and this is common, salt water got down in our stern light, anchor light fixture, which is mounted back here on the back deck. Looks like this one's going to have to be replaced, and we'll get a little upgrade, get something maybe a little bit more salt water friendly. And then our battery leads, still got to work those out. The battery was mounted back here, I believe originally, and it looks like for weight and balance purposes, we're going to have to move it back over to the opposite side. Don't want to have too much weight on one side of the boat, or you'll end up kind of leaning to one side and not getting a good smooth ride out of it. We're looking for a motor at this point, and that's a whole nother journey in itself. Been looking at some recent year model used engines, as well as talking to some dealers, and wow, I mean, the boating world's just changed so much with this 4-stroke technology. All of your motors today have these really elaborate computer controlled systems, and that's something an old salt like me isn't really familiar with, and not 100% confident about those types of things, because I know good and well I probably can't work on one of those. So we're looking for a motor. If you know of one, a good used quality engine, 150, 175 horsepower range, two-stroke. If it's in real good shape, I'll consider it. Preferably, this video photographer wants a four-stroke, so we don't have to mix gas and oil and breathe in that two-stroke smoke, although I like it, being an old boat racer, right? So guys, just wanted to share that with you. You know, if you're going to do some boat wiring, the one thing that I can say to everybody is you really need to have a little bit of background knowledge about basic wiring. You know, like on a car, which has a 12-volt system, you know, riding lawnmower, something. You really need to have some experience before you start jumping into boat wiring and trying to tackle that. Been doing this a long time. You know, boats have all this different colored wire in there. That means something. We won't get into detail about that, but those colors do mean something. It's not just, you know, a rainbow of colors that they decided to put in there. There's a purpose for it. That's a whole nother story in itself. But be prepared. You know, have things like a basic voltmeter. Make sure it works properly. Have yourself a setup kind of like this. This is what I created myself, but you could buy these. You know, just a good wide assortment of different colored, different size. The colors represent different sizes. So when you see different colors, it's not just some kind of rainbow collage. They actually mean something. For instance, these yellow ones are a little bit bigger than the blue ones, and the red ones are smaller than the blue ones, that sort of thing. You got to have those. You got to have plenty of different ones on hand. You're going to need something to do some heat shrinking. I ran out of fuel in my little handheld grill lighter. These work great for heat shrink. If you do this, be really careful. That's not the proper thing to do heat shrinking with. So I was cheating a little bit today. Heat shrink, that's these types of things right here. These little plasticky looking rubber things. You slide these over your wiring connections and you heat them up, and that seals your connectors and your things like that, where you can keep the salt, moisture, and corrosion out. Also, a lot of times this is great to have, guys, dielectric grease. This is a grease that's specifically made for electrical connections. This is what it's designed for, what it's supposed to do. You can put these on trailer light bulbs if you've got the old incandescent kind. That helps keep the salt out, helps keep them working if they go underwater. Also, on a panel like this, before I put it in place permanently, I'm going to brush some of this on the exposed, unused blade connectors to protect it from salt environment and humidity, and then run me a nice bead of silicone around it, seal it up as best possible. Salt's always going to get to it, but things like heat shrink and dielectric grease, that's going to really be your best friend, especially if you're doing boat wiring and you're in a saltwater environment. Well, I guess the next step, the next part of the journey is going to be going out and talking to some folks. Like I said, trying to find a new engine, possibly a current model used engine. And again, if you know of anything, shoot me a line, let me know. Hey, give me a like, give me a subscribe, maybe even a thumbs up if you like what I'm bringing to you. And as always, Captain Andy, wishing you all the best. Good boating.